That was seamless, Thomas. I like that. Let's use that again.
We should do that more often. Here we are. God, you're in Florida. You're out of the car. You're in a chair.
I'm in a chair.
Was the car more comfortable than the chair you're in, or vice versa?
That car was like a little piece of heaven. I honestly, it felt better than the chair I sit in all day to live stream. And so I don't feel like I just drove for 12 hours and 15 minutes at all. It was amazing.
We were on the phone, and I said, "Hey, how you feeling? How you doing?" And you said, "Yeah, it's like a live stream."
Yeah.
And I thought, "Oh my gosh, it's the same amount of time that you literally sit there and live stream all day. Now you're just driving, not getting to interact." But I thought, "Holy cow, he really sits that long and does that." So I didn't even think about it.
All that, I'm not a camel, no brakes. That pays off when you're on a long road trip. I'm telling you. So yeah, it's for those who are counting, I did stop. I did take breaks.
That's fair.
I had to get gas. I had to get gas. So.
So you did get gas at one particular place, and that was Bucky's.
Yes. Bucky's is a.
I'm getting people.
Do you have something ready for it?
No, people are saying they can't hear me. You're loud. I'm quiet. Is this a little bit better? Anyone not saying they can't hear me? I can.
Yeah, crank it all the way up, 100% on your end.
Okay, I'm just past 100.
I'm too loud and Thomas is too quiet. Give me a second here.
So we're gonna have a little bit of difference. Obviously, he's not in studio.
Is that better? Is that better? I just turned mine down about 50%.
Okay.
I had it set for when I'm back in the studio, which is backwards.
Better. You're both echoing a bit. We're probably gonna get an echo a tad. Do I sound louder? Can you guys hear me, or am I as quiet, or am I better now?
So, while we wait for a response there, let me tell you a little bit about Bucky's because I have never been to South Carolina before, never before, and that's the only thing I did. I'm pretty sure it was in South Carolina as I stopped at Bucky's, and it's the only time I stopped in South Carolina. And what I did was I pulled in thinking I would just fill up. Nobody told me that it has like its own zip code. Right?
Yeah.
That you pull in, and then there's traffic lights, there's roundabouts, there's speed limit signs, all within the Bucky's parking area, city. I don't know what you call it when there's nothing there, but it's huge. It's vast, and so I worked my way through the road signs and everything, and got to a pump, which it was easy to find because I just got to choose one of the hundreds.
Yep.
And filled up. Pumps work just like everywhere else. Did a little live stream there. Then I went inside. Wow. I mean, I've never seen gas stations sell like full-on smoker grills, like pellet grills, Traegers. Almost everything in the store was either a treat for a road trip, okay, like food, treats, snacks, or something to do with meat.
Yes.
And by that I mean I'm now the proud owner of a bison head decorated as a Christmas tree. $380. How can you say no, right? No, I didn't buy it really. I really did not buy that. But they have everything. You can get your old bison skull to hang on the wall. And they probably made jerky out of the bison because there's jerky like as far as the eye can see. I was yelling like, "Hey, does the jerky island down there?" And I was waiting. And I heard the little faint voice. No, can't find it yet. It was huge. It was massive. For those that because that you told me, everyone says the famous restrooms. I found the wing where the restrooms are located, and in going down the corridors. I'm surprised they don't have like moving sidewalks for your traveling convenience like the airport does, because it feels like you're moving around from Terminal A to Terminal B inside the store. But on the walls they have pictures of all the animals they've made jerky out of, and you could buy the pictures too. Like there was a big picture of buffalo there. There was horses. I don't know what the horse was there. Hopefully they haven't made any horse jerky. I'm just saying. It was an amazing experience. I loved it, and I'll say this. I told the mods this, and I'm probably going to get flamed in chat a little bit. But the beaver is now my spirit animal, so it speaks to me. What can I say?
For those that don't know, the Bucky's gas station is a Walmart, but it's a gas station, and their logo is Bucky the Beaver. He's got a little cap on, and that's their whole thing. It has like 120 gas pumps. It is full deli, like he said, barbecue stations, restaurant. There's shirts, there's clothes, there's snacks. You can literally spend a couple hours in a Bucky's gas station. I mean, they're crazy. So we have one not far from here as well, and I always make sure to stop in. Their jerky, I love it. Their ghost pepper jerky is amazing.
It's cool. It's like a full deli bar with just jerky. And I don't know how they stay in business, because I think I counted like roughly about 150 employees working just out in the shop. There were like 20 of them just making like breakfast burritos. That was it. And for having 300 customers in the store, I didn't know there were 300 people on the whole road in South Carolina. It was so sparse, but you get to Bucky's and everybody's there. That's where they're at. And there's no waiting in line. There's always just somebody ready to check you out, and the food's there. The food's hot. It's fresh. There's meat everywhere. Yeah. It was really neat. So that was my stop in South Carolina. And then because we just had the trial that was in Georgia, and it didn't really go the way I thought it was going to go, I was a little nervous. So I did not stop at all in Georgia. Not one bit. I'm like, this could go bad at any moment, right? So I'm just going to deadhead it straight through. I made it into Florida, and wow, as soon as I crossed over the border, the scenery changes. Like instantly, they like planted palm trees. I realized South Carolina has the palm trees, or the palmetto pine, or whatever. I don't know what they call it, but right. They've got palm trees. But Florida has palm trees. They let you know right across the border. It's like you have arrived in Florida. My first time ever being here. Right. It's very flat and it's very wet. And other than that, it was not like the sort of vista that you'd expect, say, from visiting, say, the Grand Canyon, Glen Canyon National Park, or Arches or Yellowstone. It doesn't have that sort of beauty, but in its own way, with all the Spanish moss hanging off the trees. It is incredible. I love it. And the weather, I watched the thermometer just tick up the whole way down. It started at 39 degrees north of South Carolina. Here I'm at 74. Yeah. Like, I can do this. I can do this. Now there's one more thing I have to say. I hope I'm in the right place right now. By right place, I'm talking about residence.
Your Airbnb.
My Airbnb. They left it open for me. I think I went in the right one. I don't know. There's nothing on the wall. There's no anything. There's a good chance the SWAT team might just like kick through the door and, "Sorry, what are you doing in this?" Yeah. So if I have to run that way, that's the only way. I guess I could head towards the water out the back. But I'm down in Sarasota right now. I think I'm in the right spot. I'm honestly nervous. Because the door is going to open at one point, and the owner is coming in. This much I know.
Any minute now, potentially supposed to arrive, right? Your host. And I know you did spill the beans on one of your lives.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about it again, but
not everyone caught it. So
no, that's good.
That's fine. We're either going to see your host, who's a really cool guy, or we're going to see the police, which are going to be cool people too. But we're going.
And then the host behind the police say, "Yep, that's the guy right there."
That's the guy we called on because, like Michelle just said, just going to say, "Hey, Florida man." So. How was the drive? Was it uneventful? No near misses, no wrecks? Did you see some decent scenery? Was it what you expected?
The car was phenomenal. I want one of these cars. I've always driven a beater, right? Like an old car that always has like aftermarket features, like, oh, that door doesn't work, or that window rolls down but not up. Things like that. I've always had a car that had something special about it. Yep. This car was straight off the lot. It still had the factory sticker in the driver's window that we had to peel off, and there's still like a little bit of glue there. 151 miles on the car. They drove it onto the truck, drove it onto the lot, and that's it. Nobody has used this yet.
Wow.
And I asked the important question, I am allowed to take it across state lines, right? They're like, yep. And unlimited miles? Yep. Okay, no questions, let's go. So it was a great drive. I saw some things I've never seen before. I've never seen wild pigs on the side of the road. I've never seen, I still haven't seen a gator or a python, so I feel a little bit let down by Florida on that front because I really expected a lot more of both. I also have not seen an iguana, but there's probably going to be like iguana poop on my car when I get out in the morning. So, because I'm in uncovered parking and there's a tree. I think that's where the iguanas go.
If it's cold enough in Florida too, they freeze up, they shut down, and they fall into trees. So if it were cold enough, which it's not, you could go out there in the morning and have iguanas on your car. That the iguana itself,
That
it's a thing.
that would be cool for a little bit, but then also not cool because I don't know what to do with a half frozen iguana.
You just pick them up, send them down on the lawn. That's it. And in a sunny spot, so he can thaw back out. But it's a real thing. Funny story actually about iguanas, and this is not planned. My brother had one as we grew up. He had one as a pet. It got out of its terrarium. Is that right? And I forget. It was a long time, a long time. Well, we go to do a little Easter egg hunt in the backyard, and this house where we lived actually had a pretty big backyard. As I'm hunting for eggs, I'm tripping along, and I freak out and scream and yell because there's an iguana laying right there in front of me. And he was a pretty big size iguana. And there he was. Buddy, the iguana, escaped, had been out for over a month, just hanging out in our backyard. And I
Just
found
chilling.
him looking for Easter eggs. And it freaked me out. I was scared.
Did he want to be found, or was he happy being unfound?
I really couldn't get him to say anything. He said, I want a lawyer. So I couldn't hear.
Smart move. Smart move.
But so awesome. So for those that don't know, I'm assuming everyone does know that's in chat. We've got just shy of 800. Scott left North Carolina, dead headed to Florida because he is in the media pool for the Maya Kowalski hearing tomorrow. Now, he is going to be not just providing video for himself and for all of you and his subscribers. His feed is going to be supplying multiple people. The lawyer, for an example, is one. They will be taking RA's feed to then play out for their live streams and whatnot. So it's actually pretty cool. And so he may or may not really be able to be live and comment and do things like that. But Scott, I'll let you take it from there. But you're there not just as a YouTuber. You're there as actually media. It's not for
media.
Really entertainment. It's media.
It means I have to follow a lot of rules. There's pages of stuff I've agreed to, and it's stuff I'm familiar with from working in the media before. So it's not foreign to me. But I've got all the equipment. We're keeping our fingers crossed. I've worked it out. There's one cameraman that's going to be in the courtroom that I cannot control. There's one camera. We're hoping for good audio, but they just switched courtrooms that it's going to be in. We've never been in this courtroom before for this trial, and we just don't know. So we're going to do the best we can. I've got equipment so I can try to improve the audio somewhat on my end, but I've got very little time to figure it out, and I really won't have any audio until it goes live. So we might be stuck with what we get a little bit that way. I wish I had more control and that way, but we'll run with what we've got. We want to. It's going to be live streamed on my Top Mark Media channel, which is the other YouTube channel. But hopefully Thomas has come in clutch, and he's going to try to start a stream like this on Recovery Addict's channel that will be showing what Top Mark Media has. So it will basically just mirror what Top Mark has. So for those who can't find the channel or aren't familiar, they'll be able to watch it here, and it will be the same thing. But that will allow me to dial into StreamYard, much like I'm doing right now, during a break on my phone, and appear as a guest on my own show, so I can comment and say, this is what happened, here's the break, or whatever. But I don't expect to be able to be live on screen all during this because of how I'm providing the feed for everybody else, and I can't ruin that for them. So,
which makes absolute sense. So, and we talked about it a little bit as well. In the morning, right as court's about to go live, depending on his signal, Scott may jump in on the RA channel and say, hey, everyone, thanks for being here. This is what's going on. If he cannot, if it drags out too much signal, I will pop in real quick just to remind people of what's to come, what you're going to see, that we're not going to be here live commenting and narrating what's happening and giving feedback, and then I'll pop back out. But I will try to keep the Recovery Addict channel stream live going all throughout the day until the hearing is closed. That's the goal. We will see what awaits us in the morning.
Yeah. If for some reason it doesn't work, please know we've done everything we can on this site to line everything up. We've done tests, we've done connections. I've been on the phone with the courthouse. I've been on the phone with the cameraman. We've got everything in place, but sometimes the best laid plans just don't come to fruition. So please bear with me if we have any snags or hiccups. Hopefully it will be seamless.
100%. And if anyone does choose to go to the Recovery Addict channel versus Top Mark tomorrow to watch, it'll be very similar feeds. But if there are any issues on the Recovery Addict YouTube channel tomorrow, please note that is my fault, not Scott's.
Whatever.
100% on
Whatever.
me.
I'm going to own that.
Don't blame him. It'll be my doing because I'm going to try to do what I can. But anyways, we're going to try to do what we can to bring all that information in that live feed to you guys. We're really, really excited. We've been talking about it throughout the day and the evening, and we wanted to, again, bring it up tonight, albeit this is not the normal podcast, but we want it to be more informative because this is really cool. Everyone's excited. Everyone's been so excited for your trip to Florida. So
yeah. I will. I'll tell you that tomorrow what we're expecting is about 4 hours of argument. This is where the plaintiff and the defense are going to talk to the judge directly about the things they filed that we've been reviewing for the past couple of weeks. So it's going to be some back and forth. It's going to be spicy at times. It's going to be really spicy, and it's hopefully we've got great audio and it'll just be great. There's a chance if needed, I'm trying to get in on the Zoom feed as well, so that if for some reason the audio that's provided by the pool feed camera is poor, I can at least give you a breakdown of what's happening. But that would be on my channel alone, not on the main feed.
Fair. Awesome. And there may be, again, these are all kind of disclaimers as we try to do all this remote. As I'm running the Recovery Addict stream, you may hear some background noise, occasionally some beeps or dings, which the way things run, my computer may be doing that. It will probably push it through into the feed. So if you guys hear that type of things, don't worry about it. It's just part of it, the way it's going to go. Nikki, huge super chat. Appreciate you both, plus Mrs. RA and the little RAs. And
yes.
Scott, are you willing to, or do you want to share a little story about the little RAs today? And give them a shout out.
I've been on the phone. I've been on the phone with my kids almost the entire trip down, with very few breaks. I've been lucky enough to be able to work from home for the past 5 years, which is amazing. I was working from home before it was cool, and
Same.
and my kids just got used to that. And today was the first time it's like, hey, Dad's leaving, and they fell apart, and it broke my heart. They miss me terribly. I miss them terribly. I mean, I know I'll be back tomorrow night. Well, day after, early in the morning, the day after. But still, in the moment, it's everything for them. And so it's been awesome. I've loved being able to just talk with them nonstop on the phone and share their day in a way that I can't do when I'm live streaming. So I've been able to spend a lot more time with my kids, even though we're separate than here. So it's awesome. Eventually, there's probably a good chance that in the future, at future court cases, say like BK, the family will be coming out, and the family will go out and visit and visit friends or whatever in the area, or things while I'm working in that area, so we can be together and I can still be live during the day. But that's down the road quite a ways, and for now we're just doing what we can.
Oh, awesome. Well, if which I'm sure they are, Mrs. RA and little RAs are tuning in and watching. A lot of support in chat. People are saying, "Oh, giving you hugs, loves," and everyone appreciates you sharing your dad to provide us with this entertainment and this information, because it's a serious case and trial that everyone's been very invested in. 9 weeks with the trial, and then the subsequent of reading all the filings and things like that. So everyone's there. So the RA family, we appreciate you all, and you have a lot of support from this RA family that loves to watch what your dad does.
I am planning on meeting up with a couple people after the hearing. We were down here, by the way.
Do they know that yet?
They know.
Okay.
We've had a lot of calls back and forth. It's crazy. There's so many different schedules, and so many people have sort of bent over backwards and adjusted their schedule to fit this in, because it is important. Right. We're going to see if there's a little time where all the lines can cross just for a moment at the end. Yeah. We can briefly say hi and shake hands and just make an acquaintance or two, and then we get to go back. I'm only going to be here till maybe 3 o'clock tomorrow, and then I'm driving from 3 o'clock till maybe 4 a.m. Back to North Carolina. So
Okay, well, that's good information. Do you have a good weather app on your phone?
I don't. I was going to call a friend, like use the phone friend feature to tell me what's happening soon.
Okay.
Thomas, do you know anyone who might know what the weather will be in Florida? Maybe say the next 24, 48 hours.
I do. So you're going to be a little helter skelter.
A little windy.
Probably a little better tomorrow than if you waited till Saturday.
Okay.
But so you're going to be mid 70s tomorrow. Partly cloudy. It is going to be breezy. Now you're looking at on-off thunderstorms come afternoon.
Okay.
As it gets into the late night hours, which you will encounter because you have to drive all the way up through Florida, a marginal risk for severe weather then gets posted for Florida, which does include a marginal risk of tornadoes, flash flooding, things of that nature. So Florida is being watched come tomorrow afternoon through Saturday for severe weather. Now, I will say it's marginal, which is good because that's on the lower end. But to be frank, we have seen tornadoes abundance in marginal outlooks. So I will 100% not be out partying tomorrow night on a Friday after work. I will be watching weather in direct communication with you.
I'll have the burner phone. I talked to a couple people today, and it was awesome. People were able to connect with me, and because we had a long drive. But my daughter's like, "Okay, call me back as soon as you're done." So I would. So it's going to be great. I will tell you that what I've seen as I came into Sarasota, there's a part where you can go over a road that's elevated, and I got to see the city sort of from an elevated position at night. It is beautiful. Cool. It is so beautiful down here. But
that's awesome. So we've got one question. Biggs here says, just so we can confirm. So it's 8 a.m. Sarasota time tomorrow, right?
Biggs, 8:30 is the time. 8 o'clock the courtroom opens, and here's just to give you the full background. The folks over on Reddit have been organizing a protest, and there will be people protesting at the courthouse from about 7:30 to right about the time the court opens at 8:30. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm going to be outside the courthouse while they're there. There's a chance we might be recognized. I don't know how that's going to go down. So I'm going to be, my regular polite self, and as soon as we can get into the courthouse, we have from 8 o'clock when they open the doors till 8:30 when they go live. That's the only time I have to set up all the equipment, to find my location, to get through security, find my location, get set up, get the live stream going, and at the same time, the cameraman who's going to be in the courtroom has that same time to set up. They have not been able to set up in advance, so we're pushing it. We're really, really pushing it. And,
right. So Pam Graham says, what channel? So Pam, the feed is going to be originally run through Scott's second channel, Top Mark Media. If you're part of the RA Facebook page, the links are there as well. But I will be attempting to take that feed from his second channel tomorrow morning and plug it into Recovery Addict's main channel in the morning, so you can watch it there as well. That's the goal. So you can catch that live. The Recovery Addict feed will probably be up about 10 minutes prior to the hearing starting at 8:30, so about 8:20 is what we'll do. In regards to what they're protesting, there's been a few questions like that. Supposedly, if it happens through the Reddits and whatnot, they are pro J-Hatch protesters that are against the settlement and what the jury found and what everyone said. So they're going to be there for J-Hatch. And so, like Scott said, they may get recognized because obviously there's been a lot of pro-Maya people through social media that actually take in the evidence and have watched what happened. So it'll be interesting to see.
And I'll say this, from everything I've seen, the protesters are more of a professional, like working professionals with relations or affiliations with a hospital. So it's sort of a different sort of protest. This isn't like a masks and sticks and torches and pitchforks. That's not at all. This is a protest which is a protected right under the Constitution. They have the right to do this and voice their opinion and get that out and do this in a way that they've arranged with the courthouse to do. And they'll be out there on the lawn doing that protest. So it's going to be neat. And if there is something there that's of interest, which I believe there will be, I'm going to do a live stream with my phone from outside the courthouse just to show you what's happening beforehand, and it should be fine. So if I'll also say for those other either LawTubers or LawTube adjacent channels, I've granted blanket permission to all of them to use my Top Mark Media channel, the live stream, with the understanding that we're doing our best here, and we've got some players that are outside my control, and so if there's a problem, I might not be able to guarantee the feed is there. But that's what we're going to do. We've got all the pieces in place, and a couple of people had expressed interest in using that. So just know that if you see that same feed somewhere else, that's with permission. So appreciate all those that are going to do that and get the word out, because this is an important case.
It really is. And like we said earlier, there's a lot of people heavily invested in it. Those that watch the trial, it's 9 weeks for a trial. That is a long, long time, right? So there was a lot of information. And albeit there wasn't, the typical true crime that gets covered on your channel of murder, and we've seen some really crazy and just downright dark stuff, right? But this was dark in a different way for a lot of people. And well, at least I know I learned through watching your chat and the moderation of how many people have been affected of the same exact thing that Maya had as well. So it hit home for a lot of viewers that they had. So I just think there's a lot of investment from the public to watch this. So thanks for making the trip and the drive, and you're sacrificing your time away from your family to I know this is important for the channel and it's part of your career and what you do and your interest, but yet you are finding a way to bring all of this information to us that could not have it. So thank you for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I will say that the other media outlet that has done this is Law and Crime. So Law and Crime will be there. They are the pool camera, and I'm working with them to get a clean feed without their logo. So I have rights basically to the video before they brand it, and that's what we'll be providing. And so that feed will be clean on the Top Mark channel, and then on my channel it's going to be the one where we might have me popping in. We might have some guest appearances as well. If Rob from Lawn Lumber wants to jump in, we're going to try to share that StreamYard link so that he'll be able to join, and I might need Thomas's help a little bit to admit him when that happens.
Right.
But yeah, so that'd be cool. But
well, Scott, it's been a long day. What do you have? What do you got for the evening? What are you doing to wake up and breakfast? What's your plan from right now till the time you get to court? What do you got going?
I'm hearing car doors outside. It sounds like a whole bunch of cops just pulled up. I don't know, but I swear this door is going to open, and if it's not the person I think it is, I've got a lot of explaining to do.
You do.
And
Indeed.
At least I'm not like asleep in the bed, right? That would be worse if I was.
We covered a story on this podcast about that. So
I know so many times we've heard this in the news, and you're like, well, you know what? Why does that happen? How can you go to the wrong place, right? I'm telling you, I've never been here before.
It's manageable.
I'm like, it looks like where they said to go, and the door was open, so I went in. Is that breaking and entering? Possibly, but yeah. It's a nice place. It's really cool. I'm down here in Sarasota, only about 8 minutes. So I had my Firehouse sub. I drove 750 miles to get a free sandwich at Firehouse Sub. Thank you, Firehouse Sub in Sarasota. Apparently, if your name starts with the letter S today, you get a free sandwich. I only needed one, but they gave me a free sandwich. So I'll probably eat my free sandwich for breakfast, keep it in the fridge, and have it cold tomorrow because I'm going to be running so fast.
Really?
Run to the courthouse bright and early. I'd rather be there and have to wait an hour in the dark than be 2 minutes late. So that's just how I run when I'm doing camera work stuff. It doesn't apply to my live stream. I can be late to the live stream, but
Absolutely. Like, it's funny. We're always late for the podcast, and you're on the road, and we were 1 minute early. It never happens, but we did it. Megan says, "Will Jules be in the courtroom? Do you know? Have you been in contact with Jules?"
I don't think she's going to be there. We're still trying to see if we can cross paths and match up. I'm pretty sure depending on where they allow the camera to set up, because it's going to be like a news camera on, they call it a camera on sticks. It's a tripod with that's manually operated, so they turn it and it'll be panning back and forth. I'm sorry, that's what they've allowed, and that's what we're going to have. But depending if they're allowed to set up in front of the lawyers' tables, you'll see some people in the audience, and you'll see that. But if they keep us where they keep us in the back when the jury's present.
Yep.
Then you sort of get the back of everybody's heads, and you're trying to figure out who's talking the whole time. And it could be either one. We might have the best video and great audio, or we might just have like, this is barely manageable, and it's anywhere like that. But
Right.
yeah, I'll let Jules tell her own story that way. I'm not trying to announce everyone's schedules that way. But
Yeah, absolutely. Fair enough. And I don't know, I know a lot of the chatters seen it. We didn't say anything. Shout out to Rob, Lawn Lumber in chat. He's been hanging out, watching the stream, saying hi to those chatters. So, Rob, I'm sure Scott will reach out to you about the StreamYard link. If you need any help.
Rob's been full of great advice.
Phenomenal. Perfect, Rob. Thank you.
I'll tell you, Rob, I'm dressing up. I'm wearing like suit pants, slacks, a button-up shirt, and a tie. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the full suit jacket over it, but I'm going to be dressed to the nines and probably sweating like a pig in this hot Florida sun. But
Not a camel.
not a camel.
Rob, if you need anything, you know what, Scott, if you would you send Rob my information sometime tonight? Rob, if you need anything, since I'll be running the stream through his channel, if there's anything I can help with or get you, then that way you can contact me if I need to get you a link or anything like that. But yes,
Yeah, I'm going to set up.
Will not fly.
I'm going to set up the Top Mark Media link tonight using the live view. I'm also going to try to turn off chat on that channel. Okay, so we don't have mods over on that channel yet. It is going to be just like a source feed for other people. So I'm going to turn off chat on the Top Mark Media channel. We'll have chat turned on the Recovery Addict channel, and that will just make it so that our mods don't feel like they're trying to, watch everything at once and keep an eye on things. It will just let us focus on the work at hand and not get distracted by other stuff.
Absolutely. Angie Torres says more gas money. Woo, woo.
Thank you, Angie.
Get home to the little RAs. Absolutely. Auntie Candy says the teamwork is phenomenal. Thank you so much. It's so much fun being a part of it and getting to do it, and trying to get all the information we can out to everybody else. Absolutely.
Dressed to the sixes, Adam. What does dressed to the sixes mean?
Just upside down nines.
I'm sort of stalling, Thomas, because
your guest.
I want you guys to be here if the door opens. Right. I can't guarantee it will, but it's 3 minutes late if it was supposed to. So I may be in the wrong place. As long as nobody shows up, it might never matter, right? If I'm the only one here tonight,
you won't be able to fall asleep. No chance. Because your host is roughly a half hour late, so there's no way you're laying your head down with anticipation of hearing a door and not hearing it and not hearing it. So you need your host to get there. And we need.
I could lock the host out.
I feel like he has a key. I just just gut tells him he has a key. But good vibe. Stacy says I'm in Florida and I can hear the wind hitting my windows as the weather's moving in. I'm telling you, there's Florida's a big state, but the outlook proximity covers the entire state for the weekend weather. So that's what you've got to look for. Everyone hates weather, man, and I see why.
Yeah, Thomas, we had earlier today when I stopped in Florida, there was a super chat, and I saw it go by on the screen, and I missed it. And I tried to scroll back up and see it, and I wanted to give a shout out. And can you help me? Who was that we had that gave a super chat there?
Pickles the cat.
Pickles the cat.
Yep.
Thank you very much. I saw it go by, and it was in the bright Florida air. I just couldn't see the screen well enough to click on it, and it was going so fast as well. Here's to wearing pants on court day Friday. Yes, I brought my Pickles socks. I asked my wife if I could wear the pickle tie, and she said no. She vetoed that one. But I'm wearing the Pickles socks, which don't go with anything else that I'm wearing. They clash with the shirt, clash with the tie. But I figure usually you can get away with socks being a little bit different. At least I've always thought so.
Yeah.
I've always been in trouble with the fashion police, though.
Yeah, that's fair. And then Rob sneaks in with gifting 10 RA memberships.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you so much.
Marianne, congratulations. Cheryl C, Shaky Ground, M Young, Cindy Collins, Hope Always, Janet. We've got Crystal. I can't see. I have to look at a different screen to see it. And Crafty Grandma Mike T. Congratulations to the winners, as well as Paul Clank. Looks like I can't see, but Rob, thanks so much. That's awesome.
Very, very, very cool. For those that don't know, Rob is absolutely an amazing YouTuber, and he's an even better person off air than he is on air. Just a true gentleman in every fashion, and I owe a lot to him. Appreciate that. Also, true gentleman, Thomas. You guys, you don't know what you've got here with Thomas. He's absolutely amazing as well. So thank you to both of you. Appreciate your help today. This is so much a team effort. I could not pull this off on my own, and so many people have come together. Even the hosts of the Airbnb. It's just been amazing to see it come together so quickly and have so many people not just offer just be willing to help. I've had people say, hey, if you're flying, I can drive you from the airport. If you need rides, if you need somebody to watch gear, if you need just volunteers from all over the place, which really just shows that this community is just full of amazing people, and it really touches my heart. So,
well, look what you've created.
Let's see. Get him, Anderson, away. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll tell you this: if you're expecting tomorrow, if you're expecting like the hammer to come down, and the sentence to be pronounced, and someone to be handcuffed and hauled off to the shame of infamy in the annals of court records or whatever, not going to happen. This is argument. The judge on most of these things may not make a decision today. So we get to hear the argument back and forth, and the judge says, all right, I'll think it over next. And so it will look a little bit like a little bit of a letdown, but we're here for the argument back and forth, because when Judge Carroll is listening to this, the questions he asked are incredibly insightful. They might give you an indication of where he's leaning, or where he sees there's a problem, where he sees somebody might have a legitimate claim. And there's stuff out there that both sides have said there are things that Judge might address, might make some changes. So it's going to be really neat to see that happen.
Right, absolutely. Louis Cox with $10. Good luck tomorrow. Hope you get the access you need. And then right behind that, Coffee and Crime gifts out 10 more memberships to the RA family. It's incredible.
Thank you, Coffee and Crime. Thank you.
The best part about it, it's so funny when the gifted memberships come in. It's incredible support to the channel, and it's so much fun. And the slow mode doesn't work for members, so chat just goes. But it's so awesome because people. Yes, I've seen comments. Commands won't work right now. Ari's not in studio. That's not all plugged up. But there's a few commands that members get to use, which is a treat, and it's a lot of fun. And you can chat like crazy. So thank you so much for the gifted memberships and the support for the channel.
Let me see if I can. Hey, Rob, are you? What are you doing tonight? Just so you want to join in? Because honestly, Rob has a perspective on this from a legal standpoint that is invaluable. I don't know if he's tied up or whatever. I would be happy to shoot him a link to StreamYard if he wants one.
This is a good one, RA.
Yeah. Hippo Lover, so glad you're here. Thank you both from Jer1 and I. Thank you, Hippo Lover. I appreciate both of you. Stay strong. I realize you guys have taken the brunt of attack that I feel is entirely uncalled for. Nearly, I would say, use the word unprecedented. I've never seen anything like this before. It may have happened, but not in modern court history that I've reviewed. Which doesn't mean that it's never happened, but it's you guys have been a target that unfairly in a big way, and so I appreciate you guys just being strong and doing what you do.
Absolutely, well said. Melissa Smith became a YouTube
Rob said
member.
Send link. Let me figure out how to do this, because I'm live streaming on my phone because I don't have the Wi-Fi password. I feel like I broke into an Airbnb and I'm just live streaming. And the host doesn't know. Let's see. I just got a message from my host. 1 second.
Carol C. Your host saying, "Where are you? I've got dinner on the stove." Carol C. Super chat. So happy sharing in all your success. Carol, thank you so much. That's awesome.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me
Rob,
get.
while you're figuring out what you're doing, Rob went ahead and just gave another 10 memberships out to the community, which is incredible.
Rob.
Rob, your gifting membership button is stuck.
Thank you. You're. Yep, it's stuck down. You might want to fix that. Otherwise, we'll stay live all night long. So let's see.
And then right behind Rob, we've got Wendy Wall gifting 5 Recovery Addict memberships. Wendy, thank you so much. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. The gifting tonight is...
Rob,
This was not the podcast. This was a quick hello, how you doing? This is what we're doing for 10 minutes. And here we are 45 minutes in, and the memberships and the gifting and everything's just flowing. Incredible people.
sorry, I accidentally when I tried to use it. Picture with Rob.
Oh, you're pulling a little extra data. You're pulling a little extra data, so you're breaking up.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, video's a hair fuzzy, but that volume came in more clear. So there we go.
Okay. I got a supply Deer Park to bring down. I'm sure they have it in Florida, but I didn't want to in case it wasn't here.
You're breaking up a bit, but I'm pretty sure I heard you say you got a Deer Park water that you brought with you down to Florida.
Let me.
Yeah, we're losing you on the audio and video side. Yeah, we've got you stuck. All right, he's going to reset. So Cindy Collins gifted or member for 1 month. Thanks so much for the gift of membership. That's awesome. Cindy grabbed one. I'm not sure who gifted that one that you got, but that is fantastic. Let's see, Chrissy. I don't have AR or RA's PO box on hand, and our commands aren't working since he's out of studio. But if you go to, I believe, his info or about page on his YouTube channel, I believe it is there. But for those of you that came in late and didn't hear what's happening tomorrow, RA is going to be streaming the hearing through his Top Mark Media page. And oh, he's back. And we will also try to double stream that on the Recovery Addict YouTube channel as well, so you can find it in both locations. So that's the goal. That's the attempt for tomorrow. Renee Fields, Thomas, who are you? I am Thomas. I go by Weather Watch on YouTube. I mod for Scott. We became friends roughly a year ago.
He's the best podcast partner you could ever hope for. That's who he is. Incredible gentleman. Weather pro, golf pro, motorcycle pro, duck feeder extraordinaire, you name it. He's got it on his resume, and a good friend of mine.
Yeah, Scott, just a big nerd. Scott and I became close early on when we met. We collabed on a couple live streams he did, and we decided to do a podcast. And so here we are. It was on Friday nights. We bumped it back to Thursday nights. We enjoy doing it. We've both done it on the road a few times together. Our typical podcast, if you haven't tuned in, it's called the Not Relevant Podcast because we talk about things that are not relevant to his primary channel. Just goofy
or anything else.
Stories, or anything else.
We can talk about stuff nobody's talking about.
Yeah, we get off topic. We just have a good time hanging out, chit-chatting, and just enjoy spending time with those in chat. So that's who I am, and that's why I am currently here.
Yeah. But awesome. that is cool. I think Rob's going to try to join here in just a minute if you can get a moment. I cool. think I sent him the link. If you didn't get it, oh, he got it. It's delivered.
Oh, yes.
All right.
It says, and reindeer car accessories connoisseur. I sent Scott.
I set the horns out to use on my rental car, and I left them in my studio.
No.
And I didn't remember until I was in Florida, and somebody drove by me with them on. I'm like, that could have been me. The whole way, that could have been me.
100%. Yeah, Pickles, that's right. How could we ever forget? And this is the #1 place to come to the most terrible dad jokes on the interwebs you will ever listen to. That's for sure. We love to bring those. We have a good time, and we watch the viewer count just fall as soon as we start getting those. We have none planned for tonight, and I have no plans of getting into them. That's well,
I
no, I'm
I
kidding.
don't even have internet connection to search up a good dad joke right now. This is all I can do.
That's
But
perfect.
rolling up to the courthouse in a pickle tie with reindeers on the Audi. That's pretty much it.
That guy's
Feature,
in
I
the
will say,
media pool.
yeah, I will say, I started with a Nissan like Ultima or Maxima,
Yeah,
and I tried like I said I'll rent that car, it fit the right price, and I sat in it. Or I attempted to set in. I'd get in, and my head would be like clunk, up against the ceiling because I'm 6'2", and these cars were built for little people. And so I moved from like one car to another car to another car. Finally, the first car that fit me was the Audi, like G5 or something. I don't know what it is. It's a beautiful car. They gave me a deal on it because I didn't fit in all the cheaper ones. So I said I'll take it, and it was brand new. And so I'm driving a brand new car, which I've pretty much never done in my life, and I'm loving it. But
that's
it's good.
awesome. That's so cool. That's fun. I'm with you. You're 6'2", right?
6'2". Yep.
Yeah. So we're the same.
Are you
height.
we're talking width or height? Are we? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 6'2" is my height. So
I'm a square.
yeah. Boom. Broad shoulders. Really broad shoulders. So.
Oh, that's perfect. Do
Okay.
you think is Rob is
Rob, you are a hero. Okay. Just to let you know how awesome Rob was. Rob, from the other side of the country, just let me know what the Airbnb password is here. Okay, think that one through. Think what has to happen. He tracked down
Rob's
my
not your
host.
host.
He's not my
Rob's not
host.
even the
He
host.
tracked down my host. Said, "Hey, Scott needs Wi-Fi. I might drop a little bit when I make the connection to change." But Rob, you're
Look at this.
absolutely amazing.
Hey, Rob, can you hear us? Okay.
Here I am coordinating the Wi-Fi password via the guest.
Phenomenal. I'm going to take our brand off screen here. There we go. Perfect. Hey, Rob, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir.
No, just it's my pleasure. We've actually never spoken. We've never had reason to. I'm not in the big crowds. I'm not a recovery addict or anything like that. So you've had no reason to talk with me. But
Can we pause and talk about Scott's freeze frame for a moment?
yeah, hang on. I'm going to actually take a quick
No,
screenshot.
don't
while-
take. Yeah, exactly. Yes, put him. No, make him big. Make that face the big face.
I will do it. I got the screenshot. I got to do a quick edit and plug that in before he comes back and make that hard. We just hear voices behind that face. How happy is that man?
He's thrilled, and that's
There he goes.
Oh no, you took. Oh, he came out. Oh no.
Well, I think trying to get to Wi-Fi, so he had to get himself off. So I think I don't know. Poor guy.
Yep.
Oh, he's so
I had
excited.
to-
I'm so excited for him for this. This is incredible.
So am I, and that's actually why I popped on, because honestly, one, I want his host to arrive. Two,
Right.
two, the effort.
Yeah.
What he went through, like, you guys don't understand it. Getting this press pass, getting pool access, these are not easy things. These are not small inconsequential steps. Like, Scott went through a whole lot of hoops to get to where he is right now, and then he gets the press access, and he has a decision. Do I stay at home? Do I drive down? And then he drove down to be in court in the next room so he could have access to the feed. I mean, that is remarkable.
Remarkable.
And I know he's probably a ball of nerves right now. He's probably super stressed that he's not on stream, which is great. It's our chance to talk about him.
That's right.
Emphatically.
That's right.
Absolutely. Without his presence.
So it's not letting me put up that share screen. It's a PNG. I've got to change it. So I'm working on that while you share your opinion, what's going on, so I can get that that
Well,
jolly good old
what am I
screenshot.
trying to
kind
do?
of
I'm
thing.
trying to do this. I want to do this because my full setup isn't ready. You know, it's not really there yet. Let's see.
Oh, he's coming back.
There it goes.
Oh, we got him back. How about this overlay? There it is.
Yeah, baby.
There it is. We got it. Oh, what a happy camper.
How
Scott,
perfect
we
is
love
that?
you. We love to screenshot you and clip you. But he's back. He's trying to get back in this. I gotta go back. He's trying to get back into the stream here. I gotta let him in.
Are you guys there?
Scott, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, bud.
The door's opening right now. Hey, sir.
Who the hell are you? Get out of my house. Get out of here. Hey, who are you?
Look who the host
Oh, yeah.
is.
Nice to meet you.
I'm so glad I'm in the right house.
Look who it is. Look at the host.
Oh my goodness.
Rob, how are you?
This is my podcast partner, Thomas.
Hey, Thomas, how we doing?
You know
Dr.
Dr. Joe Corcoran.
And now I know Scott.
It's Dr. Joe has been super generous and said we've got a place where we can crash for the night before court tomorrow. And so
I'll find your Wi-Fi password.
okay.
For you.
I don't know.
So for those of you who are playing catch up, Dr. Goodhair and I were texting, and I was like, "You need to get home," and he's like, "I'm at dinner. Dinner's still wrapping up." Mute Scott.
Okay.
I'm at dinner. Dinner is wrapping up, and I said, "Scott needs your Wi-Fi password. What's the Wi-Fi password?"
Yes.
I text Scott the Wi-Fi password, so he has it. All while
I just didn't give him the right Wi-Fi password.
oh
Does he
no,
really
that
need
was the problem.
Okay, I'm going to come in on the other channel here. It's working now. It's looking beautiful. So
Oh, this is the best. See, this is the part that's so cool. Thomas, this is so much fun.
Mhm.
Court coverage is usually boring, remarkably boring.
Right.
Honestly,
though, like I've
feedback. Oh, I
Is it really
I
bad?
hate hearing my voice.
I can put the headphones in.
Yeah, because I could hear.
Is that better?
testing.
Yeah.
No feedback. Can you
No
hear
feedback
though?
here. It's good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, there you go.
Make it easy on yourself.
It's all right. We'll get it.
Real quick, Pinky Crafty Mama, super chat, just a drop in the bucket towards petrol, aka gas, here in the U.S. Thank you so much, Pinky Crafty Mama. That's fantastic. We've got Seashell member for 1 month. So excited for you. I admire all of your hard work. Thanks, Scott, and thanks for your channel. P.S. Ask Rob about Wood Daddy Stacks.
No.
I actually have to call the Tampa police.
That
I
one
just
goes
had
away.
porch pirates steal from my house.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
So no worries.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Now,
All right.
your audio input is still picking up the external mic. It's fine.
Yeah.
Take a deep
I-
breath.
That's because I haven't plugged in the other one. But hold tight.
Holding
You
tight.
guys, it's echoey because he's got here's what happens. You connect a new device, and then all of a sudden things are broadcasting through your speakers, and you can't find the right button, whether it's the computer button or the StreamYard button, to switch the audio output. So you're playing through speakers, he's got headphones on. It's not as easy as it looks.
And hashtag StreamYard. It's just
Yeah.
not. It's just not the greatest, the most. It's so good to bring people in a real quick moment, and here you go and share screens, and it's easier than say Zoom or something like that. But man, it makes it difficult with that stuff. Well, this chat knows too. They see our podcast when he goes from his daily stream through hardware, and then we shift to StreamYard software. Like we sound bad all the time, and we just tomatoes thrown at our face, and it's just what it is. But
Yeah, it is wild. And why don't you pull Scott down real quick because he's scrambling.
yeah,
If you have StreamYard, he's nodding his head. If you have StreamYard access, pull his face down so that we're not watching him scramble. Because I've
There
been
we
there
go.
too. You're panicking, your camera's not working. You're trying to get the windows pulled up. I have had the blue screen of death occur while on StreamYard. It is tech issues aplenty.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Rob, what's your plan tomorrow? Are you going to stream throughout the trial, throughout the day? Do you have
No,
court yourself, or what's your plan?
So I put a lovely little block of time on my calendar for a do not schedule so that I don't have motions practice tomorrow. However, one of my law partners needs to use my conference room in the Herndon office for a signing of a deed. So, and this law partner happens to be one of the managing partners of the firm. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not going to be able to run a live stream.
Right.
Now I might be able to jump on,
Okay.
but running a live stream, probably not ideal. There we
Fair.
go.
Okay.
Does it work? Can you hear me?
Now we
you're,
can't hear the mic.
now you're on the quiet side.
Check, check, check. Nothing at all?
Gotcha. Amp up the give me some more gain on that.
This is
The
all
number
on
of
audio.
things that
This
you
is
have
best
to
I can
learn
do.
to do this
Well,
stuff.
actually, I
Wow.
can do more. I've got 27 decibels of attenuation I can get rid of here.
Well, the road, I can tell you right now, that little road, the road go is not connected. It's like that's
How
an
about
external
now?
mic.
There it is.
There
Check,
you
check, check.
go.
Okay.
Now you got it.
I had 27 decibels of attenuation, basically blocking out all the sound. So
I never
All right.
realized I'd have to learn how to do like tech stuff. I hate technology.
Yeah. Right.
And I love it. I'm not good at it, but
I mean, I say that while I'm sitting here looking at a camera image of the new 3D printer I have printing a pen case.
That's
God,
awesome.
man.
Your pen was incredible, by the way, that you gifted Scott. That is so stinking cool.
Oh, it's fun.
I brought the pen with me. We're going to look for an opportunity to have it used for something monumental.
And I wish I could, I wish I could turn those things out left, right, and center. I really do, because I love giving them away and I love seeing them travel the world and doing whatever the heck they're doing wherever they are. Scott's pen I thought was really fun because I used white oak, old white oak, and you know how Scott likes to search for things in the dirt with his metal
Recovery
detector?
Addict.
Exactly. So I used white oak, and I used a process that's a chemical ebonization of the wood, where you actually use a rust, or you use steel, and you dissolve steel in white vinegar, and you create essentially a steel base or a steel solvent. And the tannins in the wood react to that, and it turns the wood black. So the rust changes the entire dynamic of the color of the wood. And I thought that was so proper for Scott, who searches for metals with his metal detector.
That's
So cool.
incredible.
And
That's
not
so
only
Oh,
that-
Jules, yours is coming. Yours is in the batch of Christmas gifts that are going out by tomorrow, because that's the last day I can get them out.
wow.
The white oak also metal detecting. When you're in the East Coast and you're looking for an old home site, a lot of times the homes are gone. The either it burned down, the bricks have been plowed into a field, and some of the only things that remain is a huge white oak to show that 200 years ago somebody planted a shade tree right here, and so you always look for the white oaks, and it was just it means so much to me. That the pen's in the other rooms in my bag right now, but I'm stoked. I'm so excited.
That's so cool. Is Dr. Joe, is he taking care of business, or is he trying to fire up his computer to access StreamYard? The people want to know.
He just barely came in the door. Just kidding. I'm not trying to out anything. I'm just super excited to be here, and it's awesome. I didn't share your story, your text. Is it all right if I share what you told me?
Of course.
Okay, so Dr. Joe texted me, and he went out to dinner, and he said, "You'll never guess." Sitting in the restaurant of all the gin joints, Nick Whitney comes walking in.
No
Yeah, of course he
kidding.
does.
Just purely coincidental. So that was pretty cool. So
And we were in the restaurant that Patty and her dad owned when I met her.
did you hear that? So they were in the restaurant that Patty and her dad owned when he met her, and so it's just like it's really neat.
That's awesome.
It's
So
meant to be.
I saw in one of your lives, either today or yesterday, when we were in there, someone had asked, and Scott, this is going to put you right on the spot.
Okay.
Are you going to try one of Mrs. Dr. Joe's items at her restaurant?
Ooh, yes, you have to. Come on.
Because we
Man,
heard about it.
I have seen the pictures. You cannot leave that county without tasting that food.
See? It's the people want to know. And
I will get home Saturday morning around 4 a.m. But I will make time.
Okay.
I will make time.
I'm pretty sure they have to-go boxes. That's a thing in restaurants.
I'm super excited. If I get a chance, I definitely will. So,
and then the other question to put you on the spot is: are you going to put a down payment on one of the boats?
no,
Oh,
Chris
you know,
Crafts are
let me tell you. Let me tell you.
really nice.
A wise boat owner once told me when I was just a wee lad. He said, Scott, don't ever get a boat. And I said, why? Because I wanted a boat. And he said, because a boat is just a hole in the water you throw money into.
so to piggyback on that,
My flip side of that, I love to rent boats because you pay for a day, you pay for the weekend, you pay for the time you're going to use it, you get the best quality, and really I just don't have the time and the schedule to make it worth it for me. Maybe later on when I we all hit it big and none of us have to worry about a care in the world. There might be more time to do
when
some
is
fishing.
that happening?
Any day now, Rob. Any day, you and me both. But no, it's down the road. I love fishing. It's my wife's not a huge fan of deep water. It's just not something we'll probably do in the future. We have other things, that probably cost more than a boat that are crazy that we'll chase after.
Which is fair. And it's tough with that many kids, but they say there's two fantastic days in a boat owner's life, and it's the day you buy it and the day you sell it. That's what they always say.
That is probably one of the most true statements I've ever come across. Oh my gosh. The amount of it's the time too, man. When you buy we had boats, we had planes. My dad he was a single engine pilot, kind of like Greg Anderson and Nick Whitney, who has his license. And same thing goes with a plane. A plane is just a hole in the sky you throw money into, just like a boat is.
Mm-hmm.
Golly, man, the amount of time.
Yes, the maintenance and the fuel cost just as much as the vessel you buy. And this comment right here, cast the south. This is kind of crazy. My father-in-law lives on PK Lake, and the boats are the best. My in-laws live on the same lake. That's a small world. That's funny.
I tell you that if it's right for you, if the boat's right for you, it can be the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
And I know people great people who spend more time on water than on land.
Well,
I could never talk them out of getting a boat. I mean, of having a boat. So I'm not trying to
great
say
chat
boats.
by Jan Good. Boat just means break out another 1,000.
I can say that the same thing applies for tech gear. I have tech acquisition syndrome, which is a terminal. Actually, it's terminal. There's no cure. But yeah, you just there's always another thing to buy.
Yeah,
You don't say, says the guy who
yesterday.
has a. You don't say says the guy who has a 3D printer that he just unboxed tonight, who's printing a freaking pen case. I know. Once you start, it's like tools. Once you start buying tools, you don't stop. Once you start buying tech, you don't stop. I have things that I haven't touched for like a year, but not going to stop me from continuing to look.
100%. Janine's
Speaking of-
pools are the same. Amen. We put in a pool 2 years ago. It is nothing but now we have to do new sprinklers. Now we have to do this. Now we have to do this. Now we have to do this. Now, don't get me wrong. We use it a ton and we love it. But yes, they just suck up the money as well. Scott, do you have some technology you want to share here?
I'm sort of doing two things at once. First of all, I love this chat. I love staying on here, but I know that I'm also on a time crunch and I have to set up the live stream for tomorrow on the live view. So I'm programming that on the other computer while we talk.
Fair. And we said we were going to do a 15-minute update, not a podcast tonight, and we're an hour and 5 minutes into the show.
It's all good. I jumped on to stall because I knew that the host was taking time. But I have stuff to make before Christmas.
No, this is honestly that we're hoping for the best tomorrow. We realize that probably a lot of decisions won't be made, but the arguments are going to be incredible. And we're just it's going to be very telling. We're hoping that this is the first step towards getting this done for once and for all.
I'm trying to find my most appropriate background. Here, I have to do this. I have to make gifts. That's a gift box. There we go. Gifts are pouring down in the back.
Hey, Rob, is that a bead curtain behind you, like an LED bead curtain?
Yes, and like you mentioned the tech. You think you just buy it? Sure, why not? Black Friday, why not? You know what?
Are you sure that wasn't Wish?
I need an LED. Oh, come on, man! This thing is great. I need an LED curtain like I need and nothing else.
It's
Look at
got it's got pictures.
Dagger.
Yes, it scrolls. It scrolls pictures.
I almost expect like an exotic belly dancer to part the LEDs and come out behind you and do a routine. But
Scott, that's a
no.
different curtain.
That's a different.
sorry,
It's a different stream, different
OnlyFans
content,
versus
different
YouTube.
everything.
My fault.
Yeah, I can make it play tic tac toe. It's gonna play tic tac toe.
Oh, that is cool.
That's got to be okay.
Okay, so now I need the link.
Now he's flexing. Oh, it went from "Do you buy it in a Wish" to now, hey, can you show me? Where you got that?
Now the link. Now the link. Now the link. See how much fun it is? Like now we got a windmill. Now we're gonna do a windmill behind us. Everyone just
That
relax.
is
We're having fun.
that is awesome. That is so cool.
Rob, I kind of want the link too, if you don't mind.
Rob, I give you a hard time. I put an LED strip behind my TV and it turned purple. I don't know how to change the color. It stays purple forever. I can't turn it on, can't turn it off. There's like a password somewhere I'll never be able to remember, and it's permanently just on. So
I thought Siri did all that for you.
I think Siri and I had a falling out actually, because some things that used to work are not working anymore.
It's because every time you do it, you set off roughly 1,500 series.
You can't say the word. I've learned this. You can't say the word. You can't say the A word. You can't say the G word. You can't say the S word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I saw someone in the chat was asking for a pickle. And I know that you have the pickle. But does your... I can't believe I said
careful.
this. Does your...
Real careful.
Does it glow in the dark? This right here. I wanted him. See, that's crying, trying to hold back laughter. It mine has a cape and it glows in the dark.
Wow.
I never thought I'd be on a
I was going to say I won't touch that one, but anything I say you can't.
Scott, you're not gonna touch my pickle. That's rude.
Okay.
There he goes. Just kidding.
So, little RA, how are you doing?
I'm about to put my stuff backstage.
Oh,
Right now, half the chat just like keeled over, dying laughing.
Yeah, well, and the viewer count just dropped by about 400. So we're, if it's not dad jokes, it's gonna be walking the fence with a joke.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, but I got to jump off. I got to get in the shop.
Rob, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on the pinch. Thanks for being the go-between. I was nervous. I feel like I'm a burden a little bit, so I didn't want to even text.
It's fun for everybody. That's one thing that's really cool about a lot of this is I've met a few people who are either channel mods or subscribers to the channel. People who I've had on. You guys think that we're different in real life. We're not. We are the same people, and we talk the same way to each other in group settings. It's one of the coolest things I've ever experienced was getting to meet people outside of this context. And I hope someday to meet both Scott and Thomas as we continue down this lovely, fun road that is the YouTube universe.
It's
absolutely
amazing. Rob, thank you so much. Good luck out there in the shop. Keep all your fingers away from the sharp bits. And and good luck. I appreciate you stepping in.
Night, guys.
See you, friend.
see you, Rob.
What a gentleman. Rob is just an amazing guy. He's honestly the amount of advice and help he's given me. And I don't know how to say this. Rob doesn't throw words around carelessly.
Right.
He speaks and he means it, and he has so much knowledge and experience behind what he talks about. It's a blast to watch his channel, and it's just an amazing pleasure to be able to talk to him in person and learn from him as I'm trying to wander the same path that he has so much experience on.
Absolutely, fantastic. But Dr.
I
Joe,
promise I'll stop talking. So you can,
No. Hey,
there he is.
do you want to mic up, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, anything you want.
Dr. Joe, he's like, I'm trying to get work done, and it's this YouTuber is just sitting here in my living room. I can't get it.
I'm not sure. see if you put this on.
Little mic feedback.
Here?
Yeah, is that too much?
No, I'm just.
So it looks like Dr. Joe's he's gonna mic up
Let's
and
see.
join the
They're just-
show.
yeah.
How's that? Can you hear me?
Yep. Sound good.
Slide over. So it's a Florida slumber party.
Yes. Law Tube Slumber Party is what it's going to be. But
Dr. Joe, welcome to the Not Relevant podcast. That's not a typical podcast,
you
but
can't
that
hear, can you?
No, can you, if you pull one of your ear thing, no, just pull your headphone back and I'll be able to.
How's the feedback on this right now? I'm going to fix it so it doesn't.
sounds fine right now. No feedback, no echo.
No echo? Okay.
Perfect.
So I had the wrong box checked. I should have done that when Rob was here, but
I thought you were on Rob's show. That's why I was trying to find the show. I'm like, oh, it must be members only or something.
Rob was kind enough to jump on here.
That is so funny.
And no,
He is Rob to the rescue, isn't he?
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's been.
What a great nickname, Rob to the rescue. Love it. Dr. Joe, how are you? How are you feeling? Are you excited for tomorrow? Nerves?
I am no nerves at all. But thanks for asking, John. I am super excited about tomorrow. Just because, obviously with the drama of the trial, that's behind us, but now the real fighting begins. And, I think tomorrow we'll probably hear more from Mr. Elegant than we will from the lawyers that we're used to hearing represent, because this really is kind of the biggest step one of the appeals process, right? I'm really, really, really curious to hear how Judge Carroll weighs in on their continued assertion that juror 1 should have been eliminated. I think tell me if you agree. I think that he really went out on with a very strong statement during the initial challenge to juror 1 that Judge Carroll thought, he said, he's the juror I sit closest to. I think he's more than done his fair share.
I think the judge is first of all, I think he's protective of all jurors. Yeah, and I think his back's can be a little ruffled on what he's seen happen here, just on its own. Yeah. So they've got that problem. You saw in the motion that the plaintiff filed that timeliness. There's all sorts of issues. You can't come back after the fact and say, now we'd like to redo down number 1 from the second quarter because we don't like how the game ended. Yeah. And, right. There's that issue that they have a big hurdle to overcome. I just see so many obstacles for the defense that the judge would have to see something pretty serious that I haven't seen in order to give that any credence and follow what they're looking for. But I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I agree with that.
John, I actually had somebody Thomas, in my Thomas. I'm so sorry. I actually had somebody in my chat question the mental stability of some of the defense attorneys.
Really?
And it was a serious. I honestly think that it was a legitimately serious concern, not just a mocking statement. But yeah, this is going to be spicy tomorrow. Yeah.
That indeed. So will you be sitting in the gallery for the day, watching the proceedings, everything happens, or where do you plan to be for the day tomorrow?
I am actually walking in with the attorneys. I'll be sitting at the back table.
Awesome.
Front of the gallery. I don't know what that, in the well.
Yeah, past the gate the rest of us can't pass.
Past the velvet rope.
Yes.
I think that's phenomenal. That way it gives the defense a chance to look over and go,
or what the heck is he doing here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought we buried that Dr. Dracula a long time ago.
Oh no, they've been tuning into YouTube and seeing interviews and whatnot, so they know you're alive and well and very well involved, which is fantastic because the information that you provided and the insight, the knowledge, and in my personal opinion, the way you delivered it during the trial, it was phenomenal. You weren't shaken by anything that was going on. It was just straight up education and your opinion of your findings and what you saw. It was phenomenal. I really liked it. It was so clear and concise and clean. That's
a whale of a compliment, Thomas, and thank you very much for that. As everybody knows, I've never done expert witness testimony before, but Greg Anderson actually, when we had our first or maybe second conversation, he talked about the way that the British court system utilizes experts, and the expert witness is not really hired by either side, but instead is there to inform the judge and the jury when they have questions. And so, he really gave me the latitude to approach it that way, come in as an educator rather than as a paid opinion. And, that really helped me, stand tall, sit tall. So.
That's interesting. I almost kind of like that a little bit better. They're
For
not
sure.
hired by one or the other. It's a neutral educator of fact and in their expertise, and I kind of like
Yeah.
that. And I think
Yeah.
that's very, very intelligent of Mr. Anderson to take that approach with you and say,
Yeah.
hey, take that approach and do it that way. Because if you didn't tell me that was your first time ever testifying as an expert, I never would have guessed that. I would have said this gentleman has definitely been a witness in trials
No,
a few
thanks.
times,
Thanks.
certainly.
Thanks.
The ability that you had to navigate the cross from the defense was it was as if you had gone to school and how to be an expert witness. And
thanks.
It was so neat. It was fun. It was entertaining to watch. I realized it was serious material it was covering, but you took something that oftentimes a lot of people can find confusing and really hard to wrap their head around, and made it something that I want to go back and rewind and watch again.
Oh, thanks. But I will also tell you that it helps to have the truth on your side, right? I mean, if you have to kind of nuance it and thread the needle, I think that was, I think Sally Smith talked about threading the needle. And if you have to do that, maybe it gets a little more difficult. I mean, this was so, in my mind, this was so clear cut and so outside the norm that it was easy to tell that story and just, be consistent to the facts.
Now, when you said Sally Smith, it sounded like you had like a sharp edge on the S's.
Yeah, that's a little lisp that I have that adds those sharp S's. Yeah. But hey, that came from going to too many Kiss concerts, not in World War II affiliations, right?
I got mine from drinking too much Gator.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it is. We are super excited. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. I'm excited, obviously, to get to meet Dr. Joe in person.
Yeah, likewise, sir.
And get to pass on in person the thanks from so many people in chat who've asked me to tell you thank you. You've seen it in your chat, and it's every time you have a live stream, you see people who are saying you brought light to something that for me has been my life, and I'm speaking for them. I don't have knowledge in this area, but so many people have dealt with a hidden illness or had problems in the medical world where things aren't right, and they're trying to see what needs to happen to make it right. And you've really given hope and given an avenue for them to address that and move forward. I love what you're doing with your channel. Can't wait for it to just move on from this first phase of gathering to taking action and bringing about change.
Well, thank you very much again. These are words that maybe my mom would write, but nobody else would. But thank you for the compliment.
She sent me an email.
Yeah, right. Two things that really stand out. First of all, I had no idea that LawTube even existed, right? And I think the first time I testified was on a Wednesday. It was either Friday night or Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Greg Anderson texted me and said, "Man, you really have a fan base building out there. People really loved you." And I'm like, "Out where?" And he was the one who pointed me into the LawTube environment. And so really two things stand out. Number one is the gracious hospitality of people like Scott, people like Rob, people like Megan and Melanie and Peter and Ian, who we'll be talking with tomorrow, have been so incredibly generous in their help. Second of all, is the willingness of people that you just described, people who've been dealing with hidden injuries, hidden illnesses, who really have struggled to be heard. Their willingness to share their stories, I mean, gut-wrenching, intimate stories, and it's all in quest of being heard. And to be able to just amplify that voice even a tiny little bit is a tremendous opportunity that, as a physician who took his oaths seriously, it's an honor and a privilege.
it's neat to see. I'm loving being able to watch this and be a part of it. I became a member today of your channel.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm excited to see what happens. We're going to talk some YouTube stuff as well after this is over. Before we go to bed and get ready for the day tomorrow, which is going to be sort of a whirlwind for me, I think. But,
Yeah, 100%.
And then you get to drive home again.
the car almost drives itself. It's almost like I have a chauffeur.
It's perfect. Real quick, for those in chat they're wondering, we've seen the comments. We know we've got it in mod chat. The proposed final judgment for plaintiffs against the defendant was dropped today, just recently. Amber, thank you so much. She got it over. We've got it in our chat. We've been live when this happened, so Dr. Joe, Scott, myself haven't had a chance to read over it.
Right.
I don't think there's anticipation or a plan to go ahead and just read this on this particular stream. We typically, I know Scott likes to kind of read over a few things before going out with it live, but we've got it.
I'll pull it up real quick and take a look at it, but we're not going to cover it tonight. Just there's
a lot going on.
I need to focus. I've got one job to do tomorrow, and I need to do it right. So we're going to focus. It looks like it's about a 5-page document. I'll download it and read it, so we might be able to talk about it tomorrow if we have some time.
And I heard that the interest came out to about $50,000 a day.
Yeah,
Yikes.
well,
It's like owning a Chris Craft.
well,
Only kidding.
that's what's on the water.
We'll bring the yacht father to you,
Yes.
Thomas.
Awesome.
It's going to be good.
Well-
Maybe I think Rob's going to do a live stream. Obviously, it's Friday Night Frenzy on his channel tomorrow.
Yeah.
I may call in just like voice only. So
Okay.
it's like a phone call for me because I'm going to be driving, so I won't be able to see chat or anything, but be able to talk a little bit because there could be some things with the protests that have been lining up in the morning. We're going to take a look at that. There may be some things to talk about.
And Megan Fox sent me some
new memes.
some fans. Some folks have showed up and dropped off goodies, leaving treats at all the nurses' stations at JHash. This apparently is from Reddit.
Huh.
So rally for justice.
Rally
so
for justice.
yeah.
So it's an interesting protest because it's going to be doctors and nurses. It's not going to be the pitchforks and the torches that
Right.
some very few protests are, but often that's what we think of when we think of a protest.
Right.
It's going to be interesting, but might get some interviews in the morning before things start, but we'll give it a try.
It's going to be those exercising their rights, right?
Yeah.
And, as long as it's done in a respectful manner, then hats off to them. It's their right to do, and so hopefully everything's cordial. But I know you two have a little catching up to do because it's the first time in person and you're staying together.
I'm trying to figure out who this guy is in my living room.
I'm just glad I went in the right house.
So let's let you guys catch up, get to know each other a little bit before you guys fall asleep under the same roof, and get up bright and early to get tomorrow's show on the road. And for those, again, quick reminder, Top Mark Media will be the host of what's going on. I'm going to help stream that on the Recovery Addict channel in the morning. 8:30 a.m. Eastern time is when the hearing is supposed to begin. We're going to try to get things up and running a few minutes before, so tune in on either channel.
Yeah, and Law and Crime also is going to have that feed going. I think as of yesterday afternoon, we're the only two outlets that'll have this. That might change, but
your coverage is going to be better.
I like to think
So they should be watching Recovery Addict.
We'll have the same picture. I hope to have better audio. I may actually. They've been streaming in 720p, and I'm going to stream in 1080.
1080.
So I might have a better picture.
All right.
We'll see. But
and then Thomas, if you'll allow me, I'll be talking with Ian Runkle at 2:00 on CMO Dr. Joe, getting his perspective on the day's developments.
Sounds phenomenal. So what we'll do, we're expecting the hearing to be over by then, so we'll try to do a reroute from the Recovery Addict stream right over to Dr. Joe.
Outstanding.
it's going to be great.
All right, Dr. Joe, pleasure meeting you virtually.
Come on down next time. All right, now that you know where it is.
Right.
Thank you,
Scott,
everybody.
We didn't do
We'll see you
15
tomorrow.
minutes. We did a little longer, but see you in the morning. Hey,
See ya.
to you gentlemen, best of luck tomorrow. We're excited.
Thanks much.
We'll see you.
See you guys. Bye, chat.